Welcome to this daily guided meditation practice. This is the Attentive Mind. My name is Nathan, and I'll be guiding you through this meditation practice today. Find yourself a seated position. You really want to find something that is both sturdy and comfortable. If you find something that's unsturdy or unstable or uncomfortable, then you'll be distracted by your body. If you're sitting on your foot or your back's in a weird position, then you'll be distracted by how much your back hurts rather than noticing this moment as it is. We also want to be sturdy because we want to have the sense of wanting to stay here, not I'm about to get up and do this thing, not having meditation as part of this to-do list, and then after I'm done with this, then I'm going to go to the next thing, because then you'll be thinking about the future. So we just try to keep that position sturdy and comfortable. So sitting in a chair works. You can sit in a formal meditation posture on the floor. That is what the posture is designed for. Just find what works for you. We also keep our eyes open during this practice. But as always, if you feel more comfortable practicing your eyes closed, feel free to do so. There are no hindrances here. But if your eyes are open, go ahead and drop your gaze away from the screen and put it down below you, kind of looking at the floor or the desk or whatever's just below you. We're not concentrating on a particular spot in the floor yet. We're also not blurry and zoned out. We have a gentle gaze directed clearly yet softly downwards. You have found yourself a sturdy and comfortable position, and your eyes are either closed or open, gaze directed softly and clearly downwards. What is here right now? What is here right now? Notice, experience. There's hearing, noticing sight, feelings, body sensations, smells, tastes, and even thoughts. All of them are noticed. All of them happen here and now. You may feel like you're trying to change your experience somehow. Maybe you've heard meditation will make you more peaceful or clear or whatever. But that's not meditation. We're not controlling anything. We're not changing anything. We're not reaching or grasping for anything. We're just noticing what's here right now. What is experienced? Another way of asking this question is the way the meditation teacher Locke Kelly asks this question, which is, what is here when there are no problems to be solved? There's nowhere to go, nothing to do, and no person to become. What's left? And just rest. And notice how your mind keeps running, keeps talking about experience. When you see the floor, you say in your head, that's the floor. Or, I hear, I do this, I feel. Your mind is thinking about this moment, thinking about experience. But this is more like the map of Florida rather than Florida itself. For instance, Clearwater Beach in Florida, you can see a map of it. But it's not the same as the actual beach, walking in the sand. And this is the same with our thoughts about this moment, about experience. It's just a description, and it is not in themselves real. So I ask you again, before thinking arises, before you talk about it, What's here? And chances are I'm catching you lost in thought again. You're trying to think again about something, or you start thinking about something completely unrelated to experience, like a TV show or dinner. So just come back. Come back to the question. Before a thought arises, there's something here. It's not even a something because that's also a thought. The world doesn't stop when you stop thinking, nor does it start when you start thinking. So what's left? What's here? And if you find yourself straining to understand, relax. This isn't something to grasp for. You don't think your eyes to see, it just happens. You don't try to hear, it just happens. Nor do you try to feel your body or smell a smell. It just happens all by itself without your input. Stay here with that. The raw experience of experience. Before thinking arises. And maybe you'll notice that thoughts keep chattering. They don't stop. But Just like sounds, just like body sensations or sights, thoughts appear in the same way, all by themselves. You don't try to bring about thinking, it just happens. So thinking isn't a problem either. It's our fixation on thinking. It's our fixations on the voice in our head that keep us from experience itself. So just back up. Allowing these thoughts to come and go anyway. Letting it chatter about this and running off into that. And just noticing it as it is. In the same way we notice body sensations. It's just another experience in experience. Let everything that arises arise. If it wants to stay, let it stay. And if it wants to go, let it go. Don't touch anything. And when you notice you're lost in a thought, come back to experience itself. The raw, open experience, which has no name. And notice how it feels like there's an experiencer of experience. Somehow there's a subject to which all of these objects happen to. Where is this subject? We call it I or me. That's the name. But is this I or me also part of experience? Can it be experienced? What's even doing the looking? For instance, take the sensations of the body. They can be felt, no problem. But then we say, I feel my body, as if there is a something other separate from the body that feels it. What is that something separate? Is it actually there? Look. And if you don't understand, stay there. Stay in pure experience. No subject, no object. Just this. And completely rest. All right, you can look at the screen. There is only experience. From our point of view, there is only experience. But we don't feel that way. We think we're something that sits outside of experience looking in. Like there's a thing that isn't part of experience that has experience. And somehow it's not part of it. In fact, a lot of us, especially in the West, we identify with ourselves somewhere, we feel to be kind of behind our eyes somewhere, or in between our ears and above our neck. And then we have this body, right? We feel to be up here. The foot feels further away than the neck, right? Neck deep is different than dipping your toes because we feel to be up here, behind our eyes, and using the eyes to see, using the ears to hear, using the body to feel. But of course, when you cut somebody's head open it up, is there a center there? You see a brain. Is there a real little person that has a brain? Do you have a brain? This foundational mistake, I would call it, or rather, in a nice way, confusion, is why we have a worse day than we need to. It's why we have a worse life than we have to. Because we feel to be something outside of experience to which experience happens to. So we feel to be little entities to which the universe pushes around and doesn't like and doesn't care about and doesn't give good fortune to. And really, the real purchase of a meditation practice, although we spend a lot of our time here doing mindfulness, which is just leaving thinking alone, and just coming back to this moment. But the real purchase of meditation is noticing that there is no separate self. There is no separate you watching this video. And if you don't believe me, look for it. What you'll find is a body, seeing, hearing, tasting, touching, but you won't find an entity to which all of this happens to. This is just created by thinking. And we give it a story. I was born here, I'm this kind of person, and I'm going there. Now, if this, what I talk about here, is debilitating to you in any way, just leave it alone. Don't worry too much about the selfless nature of experience. If that's too much for you and you feel like that's uncomfortable and I don't want to see this, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Because not everyone, I think, needs to see it. Most people can. Some people no. Some people it's just too destabilizing. So if that's you and you feel that, don't push it anymore. Just be mindful of breathing. Be mindful of this moment. But this is what waking up means. Waking up from the dream of being a little me. It was never there. It still isn't there, and it will never be there. Then, when anger arises, there's no one that has anger. It's anger, then it goes. It's happiness, then it goes. There's no attaching to anything. There's no feeling of being this thing that attaches, that has experience. And what's left is just simply freedom. It's the easiest word for it. There's no subject and object. It's just experience itself. Nothing outside of it looking in, just it. No two, not even one. Anyway, practice. Whatever you do, just practice. And again, if this is destabilizing for you, just be mindful of the breath. Don't worry about the selfless nature. Thank you for showing up today. Thank you for your time. And as always, and without exception, I'll see you tomorrow.